Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Washington, Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news now. Folks, buckle up because this is a story that could redefine the entire NFC East and possibly the entire NFC itself. Rumors are swirling, and credible sources like Adam Schefter are whispering that the Baltimore Ravens, currently sitting at a 6-4 record but with a tight cap situation, are considering trading one of their most explosive offensive weapons, Derrick Henry, to the Washington Commanders. Yeah, you heard that right. Derrick Henry, the Alabama product and one of the most dominant power backs in the league, could soon be donning the burgundy and gold. And if this trade goes down, it's not just a move, it's a statement. It's a signal that the Commanders are serious about taking the next step and competing at the highest level. So why would the Ravens consider parting ways with Henry? Well, sources indicate that Baltimore is facing a cap crunch, with just around $2 million in space and plans to allocate big bucks elsewhere. Notably a massive extension for Lamar Jackson, which could hit roughly $250 million. To make room for that, they're looking at shedding some salary, and Derrick Henry with his hefty contract might be the sacrificial lamb. The Ravens are also prioritizing youth in their backfield, especially after injuries decimated their running game this season. They're eyeing a future built around Lamar's dynamic playmaking, but to do that effectively, they might need to move on from some veteran pieces. For the Commanders, the potential acquisition of Derrick Henry is a game-changer. With a record of 3-7 and plenty of cap space, around $15 million, Washington could really use someone like Henry to fill the void left by Rodriguez Jr., who's been out for 4 games due to an ankle injury. Henry, with his explosive running style and ability to gain yards after contact, would be a perfect fit in the Commanders' offense, especially for a team looking to establish a more balanced attack. The stats are pretty eye-opening. In 2025, Henry has played 9 games with 148 carries for 704 yards and an impressive 4.8 yards per carry average. He's also scored 6 rushing touchdowns, and his career totals are nothing short of legendary. Over 10, 500 rushing yards, 102 touchdowns, and a career PFF grade of 85. 4, he's a proven winner, a 3-time Pro Bowler, and he even finished 3rd in Offensive Player of the Year voting. What makes Henry even more appealing is his health this season. Minimal injuries, just missing 1 game and a YAC, yards after contact, of 3.2 per attempt, showing he's tough as nails and keeps fighting for extra yards. His success rate of 68% on rushing attempts in 2025 suggests he's reliable and effective, especially in a system that can maximize his strengths. The Ravens, on the other hand, are freeing up around $12 million to make this move happen, mainly by releasing salary cap space to extend Lamar Jackson and focus on shoring up their offensive line, which has allowed 25 sacks so far, something the Ravens are eager to address. Now, imagine how Henry would impact the Commanders' offense. Washington's ground game has been decent but inconsistent, averaging around 110 yards per game. With Henry, that number could jump to over 150 yards per game, adding a powerful dimension to their attack. He's the kind of back that can wear down defenses, especially in late-game situations, and keep the chains moving. His success rate of 68% shows he's not just a big guy. He's a reliable, explosive runner who can turn a game around with 1 carry. His ability to generate yards after contact would complement quarterback Sam Howell's play, especially in read-option looks, making the Commanders' offense much more unpredictable. And it's not just about the ground game. A dominant running back like Henry opens up the entire offense. It allows play-action passes to develop more effectively, gives Howell more options, and takes pressure off the offensive line. Plus, it helps control the clock, keep defenses tired, and reduce turnovers. If Henry joins Washington, we could see an immediate boost in their 3rd down conversion rate, which is currently hovering around 37%. A more effective ground game could push that conversion rate closer to 55%, extending drives and keeping opponents' offenses off the field. That kind of sustained offensive production would help improve the overall team stats, like points per game, which currently sits at 22. 3, but could easily go up to 27 or more. Looking at the bigger picture, this move could be a turning point for the Commanders. With a dominant backfield presence, they could elevate their chances of making a deep playoff run. Historically, teams that have a reliable, physically imposing running back tend to be tougher to beat in January. Henry's presence would give Washington a new weapon, a true X-factor in the postseason. And speaking of the playoffs, the odds might shift dramatically. Right now, the Commanders are considered outsiders, with Super Bowl odds around plus 50, but if they land Henry, those odds could drop to plus 500, or even lower. It signals to the league that Washington is all in, ready to compete with the best, and not just content with being a middling team. This trade would also echo some of the most historic moves in franchise history, trades that turned underperforming teams into contenders. Think about how acquiring a top-tier running back has historically transformed teams' fortunes. It's a bold move, but sometimes, to reach the top, you have to make bold decisions. Henry could be the catalyst that turns the Commanders from a decent team into serious contenders. It's the kind of move that might even inspire other players and coaches to elevate their game, knowing that the front office is committed to winning now. Of course, there are questions and risks involved. Will Henry's style of play fit seamlessly into Washington's offensive scheme? Can he stay healthy for the stretch run? And what will the price be? Though a second-round pick in 2026 sounds like a steal for a player of Henry's caliber, the real challenge is making sure the chemistry clicks and that he can adapt quickly. But if all of those pieces fall into place, the Commanders could be looking at a new era, one where their ground game is not just effective but unstoppable, giving them the edge they need to finally make a serious Super Bowl push. Now, pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick, and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. In conclusion, this potential trade sparks excitement and anticipation among Washington fans. It's a move that could redefine the team's identity, boost their playoff chances, and maybe even set them up for a deep postseason run. Derrick Henry's arrival would send shockwaves through the NFC East and beyond, signaling that the Commanders are serious about competing at the highest level. With a combination of talent, strategy, and a little bit of boldness, Washington could be on the verge of something special, something that could finally bring them back to the promised land of the Super Bowl. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Washington Commanders. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news.